Hello, my name is Desiree, or Avocado Circles, and welcome. We are finishing up this artwork I started the other day. Not sure how long I'll go for. I'll probably go until it's done, if I know me. This is day 2 of me working on this gigantic drawing. I do not, in fact, finish this all in one day, but for you guys, this will be the second and final video of this drawing, so don't worry. You don't have to sit through 3 videos, only 2. For this video, it's just coloring and the background, so the first video, if you haven't watched it yet and you're interested in seeing how I got here, absolutely check out my first video. I'll have it linked in the corner of the screen, the card, so you guys can check it out if you'd like, just so you guys kind of have some context as to what happened on the first day, and context as to who I'm drawing a little bit. Today I'm hoping to go into a little bit more detail on these characters, namely Grayson here in a second. Guys, this character's name is Grayson, and he wears so much gray.
That's hilarious.
He's... He'd be laughing too.
He would. He's a goober. Oh yeah, notoriously.
Yeah, he's a goober, but he's also a evil goober. Let it be known.
You may be wondering, how could a goober be evil? I guess you'll just have to watch the show and find out when it happens eventually someday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Grayson is my fiance's character. His first sketch was made in May of 2024. You can really tell that we've learned a lot more about his character since this time last year, including him being an evil goober. I started to delve into his story in one of my older videos, but I didn't go into too much detail because I'm still a little lost on how much information is too much information to make him interesting, but also keep his plot points somewhat hidden. And honestly, the same goes for Kenneth and Samira as well. But I've been wanting for such a long time to actually share stuff about our story that I'm going to try and set that aside for now. It almost feels a little strange to share, but I don't see my videos blowing up in popularity before me and Matthew are able to get our show out anyway, so here goes nothing, I suppose. Grayson works for Yolanda in a different fighting facility of hers that is separated from the main one, along with Casey. They both started in the main one, got moved to the secondary one, okay? The woman who runs this facility is very harsh, cruel, and overall apathetic to how people feel as long as they're getting their job done the way she wants it done. Imagine Abby Lee Miller personality attached to this design, and you'll get a good enough picture of the environment there. Throughout Grayson's time working at this facility, he hones in his skills to a degree that you'd expect of the top fighting school in the country. He rivals and soars above other students, except for Casey. Casey seems to stay one step ahead of him, progressing and getting promotions that he is aiming for. Promotions that he needs. She alone is the reason he can't step up, the reason he is being ignored, cast aside, the reason that he cannot accomplish his goals. So the only reasonable option is to get her the hell out of his way. I feel like this is stuff that I should have talked about in my other video about them, but oh well, better late than never. Outside of work, though, Grayson presents himself as a completely different person. A completely chill guy with a silly sense of humor. Random noises, jump scares, inside jokes, everything that would make him human. He scraps all of this when he's trying to meet his goals, but when he's hanging out with his friends, family, or even just staying at home with his dog, he lets loose a little bit. He'll sometimes go to the bar with his friend Kenneth, who always seems to be getting into silly shenanigans like, I don't know, getting punched by a woman he had no clue he was coworkers with. Kenneth is also Matthew's character, and he works for my character, Samira. She is the owner of an up-and-coming bar chain, running many locations spread across their whole country, edge to edge. She travels between locations often, picks up whatever gossip and news she can, and returns to her headquarters to communicate with her other traveling workers. Think of her as a physical hub of news, varying from dramatic to silly to life-changing. Whatever could be deemed important, they try to hold on to. What Kenneth often does for his work requires travel. However, it's not simply for just gossiping at Samira's bars, even though he does love that aspect of his job. He is what one would typically call a spy. And he is a damn good one at that. Whenever he's fully locked in and serious, you can bet every dollar that you have that he is getting whatever info he needs to you, no matter how long it takes. As long as he's getting paid, but when he's just being himself, though, and not in his locked-in mode, he is a wacky, goofy guy. Same with Grayson. Jump scares, disappearing acts, less silly noises unless he's genuinely spooked by something, but more often than not, Kenneth lets his personality shine even while he's working. When he does have time off, though, hanging out with Grayson or other buds he's made is always a treat. He loves to bother people and push to learn interesting things from them, even if it means getting himself into precarious situations. This interaction he's having with this woman is his first time meeting her, and shortly after, he learns that he works with her too. She doesn't have a name yet, but I can tell you that she is a bodyguard for Samira. She's had a few odd jobs before working for her, like a night guard at a museum, club bouncer, personal escort for random micro-celebrities. I don't know what it's called, but protecting the people who are transporting expensive goods, stuff like that. Samira knew from the moment she met this woman that she could trust her, and her intuition was absolutely correct. This woman often accompanies Samira with casual business trips between bars, doing a wonderful job at blending into the background and only stepping in when needed. Usually, anyway. Now, for the green-coated boy with the snake on his jacket, unfortunately, I have not figured out anything about him. Other than that, he looks cool and that he's Grayson and Kenneth's friend. He was Kenneth's friend before he was Grayson's friend, so Kenneth introduced this guy to Grayson and that's how they became friends. But other than that, don't know anything about him. The girl in the background with the high ponytail, also, no clue. Don't know anything about her either. So if you guys have any headcanons, theories, anything else that I could use a thesaurus and figure out other words for, let me know. I want to hear you guys in the comments. Go crazy in the comments. I said in my first video that I need to be held accountable and draw that guy again that's sitting across from Grayson because he looks cool and I want to love him. He needs some cool traits. So, like, seriously, go crazy. I haven't really talked about my process for coloring in this video because, quite frankly, I don't know how to even describe what I'm doing. Like, when I'm putting colors and shading down, it is all experimentation, babe. If I think something looks good, I keep it. And if I think something looks bad, I get rid of it or change it. Simple. I guess I can say that I tried to keep in mind where the multiple light sources were coming from on this one, and tried to really differentiate layers of people and with said colors. But other than that, this drawing was purely for fun and less for practice. All that being said, though, it was a super, super fun drawing to do. There's a reason I spent so long on it, girl. I went over it in the last video. 14 hours. 3 days. 3 days? I hardly even ever spend like 3 hours on one drawing. This was a fun one. I liked this one. Hopefully I'll draw more stuff like this more often. That way I can become faster and better. Anyway, that about does it for this one. Please hit like and subscribe, as I have a special Halloween video coming out next Friday that I'm super excited about, featuring new characters, yet again. They're from the best fighting school in the country, so you're gonna wanna look at that. I also really, really love making these videos, so liking, subscribing, it'll let me know that you guys like it too. If you want to catch me live drawing on Twitch, the link for that is in the description. What I didn't show you guys was 2 hours of me just doodling my silly other characters. So please follow me on Twitch. Also, I have my Discord server in the description where I announce when I'm streaming, and also my Ko-fi page down there. My commissions are open right now, and if you become a member, your name will be featured at the end of my videos. You'll get 20% off said commissions when they're open, and I have slots available, and like a million other benefits that I'll pop on the screen for you.
Disclaimer, there aren't a million benefits. That was hyperbole. I was being a silly goof. A little dramatic, if you will.
Yeah. Bye.